Hello people of the internet, it's Amanda, and for today's video, we're gonna talk about Kimpuri's 11th single. It's a double A-side single featuring Tsukiyomi, which is used in Hirano Show's latest drama Kurosagi, as well as Irodori, which is used in Takahashi Kaito's drama Boyfriend Karin. Now, if you're a Tiara, if you know King and Prince, and that's the reason why you're watching this video, you probably know everything that's going on with the fandom right now. I wouldn't want to dwell on that too much in today's video because I've excessively talked about it in a previous video that I did on Twitter, everywhere. I just want to focus on this release right now, so let's just get to it. Now, I'm gonna start with the regular version first. So the regular version, as always, only includes the songs, not a DVD or an extra stuff. And this includes, of course, Tsukiyomi, Irodori, Kimi to Merry Christmas, which is a song that they did for another collaboration with 7-Eleven this year, as well as Misbehave, which is a song that they sang back when they were just freshly debuted, and it didn't make it into the cut of when they asked tiaras to vote on which song should go into their upcoming single at the time. But then after banging from last single, and then there's also Akizora, so after they released all of those songs that weren't released before, finally we're on track with Misbehave being released in this particular single. And I have to say that I'm really happy to finally hear the full version of Misbehave. I feel like compared to when they performed it back when they were freshly debuted, obviously their techniques and everything are a lot more mature and a lot more, like, there's definitely a lot of improvement now, and it can definitely be heard even if, you know, it's a studio version versus a live version. But I really love it, and Misbehave is definitely one of my favorite songs of theirs, and I'm really glad that it's finally made it into a studio track already. Now, as I said, so this is what the regular version looks like. This is what the back looks like. So they definitely have this very, it's kind of like the night mode version of the visuals of the Trace music video, where there's definitely this terrarium like a feel to it, but definitely this one is a little more mature, a little bit more, you know, adult in a way. And when we open this, so I already took out the plastic and stuff, and one thing that I noticed is I thought that they were going to do something very similar to their past couple of releases lately, where there's an outer sleeve and stuff like that. So I'm kind of surprised that they reverted back to having this outer sleeve right here, and then just the usual stuff for all of the versions this time around. But yeah, now this includes a sleeve for these, you know, the 7-Eleven collaboration, which is something that's always been present in the previous releases, which includes a 7-Eleven song. If you remove it, I really love this entire thing right here, like the folk. All of the other versions as well, they have this kind of like photos of flowers and stuff that went into, you know, the set of the covers. And I don't know, again, it just really gives a nice sophisticated feel. Even the CDs this time around, like this display, I've always raved about how Kimpuri does, you know, the CDs on the inside, the designs per release and stuff like that. And I think this is definitely one of my favorites so far, just because the colors, the simplicity of it, it kind of like conveys, you know, what the vibe of the album is. And so yeah, there's really not much to say about, you know, the regular version. Other than that, I do feel like I have more to say about, of course, the songs and stuff like that. I love Tsukiyomi and Irodori equally. They're two different songs, again with Kimpuri, you know, showing their two different sides. So I really love that. I love Kimi to Merry Christmas is so enjoyable to me because it definitely has that Jingle Bells kind of vibe, but you know, it's fun and everything, and I just love Christmas in general. I feel like it's an occasion that's just nice and warm and happy, and I just really like that. And I've always liked their Christmassy type of songs. I do feel like I Promise because it had those types of songs before. And yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I really like. Initially, I didn't know what to feel about the covers, but after a while, I appreciated more of the darker covers. With the regular version is the acrylic keychain, which looks like this. And at the back, so I'm not sure if it's showing clearly, but there's just the logo at the back. I do feel like this feels very nice, sophisticated. I love the photo that they have right here. Again, as with my other Kimpuri stuff, like I don't usually really use these types of things. The ones that I use when it comes to merch are just the clothings and the bags. But I just, these types, I just love collecting these, and I really love this one. It's definitely at par with one of my favorites from their Made In, which is this acrylic smartphone stand, which I thought I wouldn't really use for my smartphone, but I ended up realizing I really end up relying on this a lot lately. So moving on to limited edition A. So this is what it looks like. It's very similar to the regular version in terms of the vibe. And the reason for it is because this is the version that focuses more on the, not really backstory, but behind the scenes of Tsukiyomi. This version includes Tsukiyomi, Irodori, and Ashita wa Ashita no Kaze ga Fuku. As the third song. Now that one, that's such a mouthful, but Ashita wa Ashita, it's an okay song for me. I feel like it's very quintessential Johnny's in a way, that kind of song. Nothing too different or anything like that, but again with Kimpuri, they kind of like balance those new types of sounds that they do, especially with, you know, Tsukiyomi, and then with the B-side song. So it's been a trend in their releases, so it's not really that big of a deal for me that they included something like this. I do feel like it's a nice, fun song to listen to from time to time, just not something that would be one of my favorites or anything like that, but it is a nice song. DVD of this, so this includes Tsukiyomi, the music video solo angle edit, and the behind the scenes. Now, I've seen the videos already, and there's just, it's a lot, okay? It's a lot. Now, I was kind of like, in their recent releases, you know, I really love their solo angles from before, where it's just solo angles, one cut type of, you know, dance videos and stuff. But they've evolved into something that's a little bit more, you know, like focusing on both dancing and just aesthetics of the videos recently, even for the solo angles. And for this one, it's just basically Kimpuri flexing their individual visuals for the solo angles, but it's not exactly a bad thing, because when you get to the freestyle bit of the solo angles, it's just, it says so much about their, I'm not sure if it's just me, but it says so much about their technique, their dance style, their vibe in a way. I think obviously, I absolutely love Kaito's freestyle in his solo angle. It's very him. It's very at par with his dance style. Like, it's definitely so flowy and everything. And then with Sho, it's very Sho. Like, it's very distinct to his style. And also for Kishi and Jin, like, you know that it's freestyle because Kimpuri has very distinct kind of like movements and techniques when it comes to dancing. And then with Ren, I love that for Ren in the freestyle section, he was just vibing. I mentioned this in my Made In review that I wasn't really a huge fan of solo angles that is very similar to what they did for Ichiban there, because I feel like, you know, it's a dance song, so it should flex a little bit more of like their dance skills and stuff like that. But for this one, again with Kimpuri, it's always exceeding that type of thing where they do something and then they tend to improve it. And I do feel like it fits well with this one. Like, I don't know what it is about the solo angles for this one, even if there's definitely minimal dancing. I just like it because it goes well with the atmosphere of the song. You know, that change in vibe of them just, you know, again, flexing their visuals in the camera, and then it switches, and I don't know, but I feel like the solo angles for this one is done a lot better. Okay, so I'm currently editing my video right now, and I had the realization as to why I feel like I love this version a lot, and why I do also feel like that they switched how they usually do their solo angles as compared to before when it comes to, I don't know, like a Naughty Girl and Maisie Night. And I think the reason for that is because their choreographies right now are more ensemble focused. So it really emphasizes like all of the elements that they put into it as a group, as compared to back then where it's a lot more straightforward, that each member just does a very linear type of choreography for basically everyone, and they can just do it. And it's the same thing for everybody, but then now they are doing a lot more complex choreographies that really is like a puzzle piece, and that's why they changed it up a bit, and that's the reason why the solo angles also evolved into something that's very different and not just dance centric. But yeah, just putting it out there. So again, as I mentioned, I really love this like thing that they did with the lyric booklets. I don't know, I just like the vibe of it. Here's what the sleeve looks like, so still very similar to the regular version, but I have to just talk about this one. I just love the look of the CD for this release. Same time, like the warm colors of this version, it plays well because again, it still incorporates that kind of like contrast between the warmness of the vibe of Tsukiyomi versus the cool energy of Irodori, and it just doesn't clash. Like the elements just look really good, and again, I really love the creative choice that went into, you know, just the overall vibe of this. Comes with limited edition A is this one. So I was initially sad at first. I thought that they don't have stickers this time around, because usually they have stickers for limited edition A, but this one is just a postcard thing. They called it a photo card, but for me it has a more postcard kind of vibes. But yeah, I mean, it's also the same design as the ticket holder that you can get if you buy in the concert venue. So yeah, I mean, I have no complaints about it. It's just that it made a little bit more sense because apparently they're going to use the sticker format for the FC version or the Dear Tiara version, which I'll be talking more about later in the video. Let's move on to this one, which is limited edition B. Now, not exactly the biggest fan of the cover for this one. I just feel like it's because of the whole like doodly thing, but again, I feel like it's still within the theme of Irodori, you know, like the vibe of the song or what the song is about, or just generally the idea of the title of the song and stuff. So I kind of get it. I like this photo a lot more that they use at the back. Version includes Irodori, Tsukiyomi, and Omokage. Now, Omokage is a ballad, and I absolutely love it. Like, it's no secret that I'm absolutely in love with Kimpuri ballads. This one is definitely, like, they really went there with the heartbreak song, and I absolutely ate it all up. I love it. For the DVD, this one includes the Irodori music video, KP cam video, and the behind the scenes. So another interesting thing about it is, again, so this includes a sleeve, and aside from the, what they call this, like the booklet, the lyric booklet that this version includes, it also includes an Irodori photo book. It includes photos that they've been seen taking in the music video. So I'm really happy because I really wanted to see some of these photos. I'm glad that they made this, and it's also kind of rare for and it's like they never really done it before, that a single has a photo book like this because it's usually just in albums that they do that. They've done something a little bit similar, I think, for Magic Touch, but it's not really a photo book, it's just a photo spread. So this one, yeah, definitely something that's new. It's still not as thick as, you know, your usual photo book that we get in album releases, but again, I just absolutely love that they included something like this, especially since obviously tiaras would want to see what what the photos look like some of the photos look like that they took in that particular music video. And this one, obviously the last one, absolutely love it. So yeah, if I were to choose from all of the CDs that from this release, this one is my favorite. The camera isn't even capturing how absolutely pretty this looks in person. It's like the silver one is also okay, but this one, I feel like I felt love at first sight when I saw this CD style, like the CD design. I absolutely love it. It's just, again, it's just so sophisticated, so classy. I absolutely love it. And yeah, it pairs well with the, like, just the atmosphere, because this one is the version that's definitely a lot more Irodori focused. So yeah. Edition B comes with the usual clear poster. So again, I absolutely love that they utilize this photo because I'm such a huge fan of it. I like that there's still definitely variations with the photos that they used for the poster and the back cover. It's not just completely the same thing, even if it looks a little bit more similar in terms of the posing arrangement and stuff like that. I still have to wait for my fan club Dear Tiara version to arrive. I'll be making a separate video for that one, but it also includes songs that are not in these versions, which I'm looking forward to hearing. And it also includes not really a documentary, but just them doing a no plan drive where they go to certain places and talk about, you know, things that they haven't really talked more about in terms of, you know, ever since they debuted and stuff, which again, in light of everything that's happening, feels a little bittersweet, I would say. But yeah, I'll cover that version in another video once my copy arrives. So these versions, as usual, come with limited time videos. So they've been doing this ever since, you know, Magic Touch, and they kept on improving it in a way that each version now has a different limited time videos. So for limited edition A, it's the special dance clip of Tsukiyomi, which when I saw it, I absolutely loved what they did with that special dance clip. It had so much energy. It just shows so much of how much they've trained and practiced so hard for this release, and that number, it's just so impressive, and it just shows just how high level their skill has gotten ever since, like, from the time that they debuted. For a limited edition B, it includes another, like, special video related to Irodori. And for the regular version, it includes behind the scenes and the recording footage for Kimito Merry Christmas for their 7-Eleven song. And yeah, in terms of the behind the scenes for this one, it didn't have recording booth footage while they're recording the songs, which, you know how much I love those types of footages, but I really don't mind since they included one for Kimito Merry Christmas anyways. And I love that, you know, since the focus of the releases are again very different. Like Tsukiyomi is definitely more focused on the dance aspect, so I like that they focused and utilized more time in showing that in the making video. And then for Irodori, it's all these like little moments and stuff like that that went into creating that video, and I really like that. And yeah, if there's anything to say about this release is that it's yet another release that makes me proud to say that I'm a fan of this group, because, and I keep on saying this, that I always look forward to like the next thing that they're gonna release, because I know that my expectations will not just be met but it will also be exceeded. And it happened again with this one. Again, not everything about it is completely flawless. As I mentioned earlier, there's some things that I just feel okay about and stuff like that, but when it comes to the lead tracks, especially with Tsukiyomi, everything that went into it, especially the level of skill that went into that number, and looking at the making video and just how much effort really went into that, I just feel so glad that that I'm a fan of this group. And it's no secret here on my channel just to how much I love them as a group. But yeah, I feel like this single is definitely a huge manifestation of all those efforts and everything. And I just wish that, you know, like I just wish that they are also as proud of this release as I am a fan receiving this and seeing this. And yeah, and definitely I would say that Tsukiyomi and Irodori is definitely at the top of my list in terms of favorites right now. And I have to say that Tsukiyomi's choreography is definitely my current favorite out of all the choreographies they've done so far. I think I've talked about it before, but just to put emphasis on it, my current favorites, top 1, Tsukiyomi, number 2, Ichiban, and number 3, Namae wa Shiete. I absolutely love Magic Touch as well, but I don't know, there's just something so sleek and I don't know, sophisticated, and just something that I absolutely love about Namae wa Shiete, and its choreography that makes it into more of like in the higher status. But yeah, so yeah. With that said, so tell me down in the comments below, what are your current favorites from this particular release? Songs, videos, stuff like that. Any thoughts? Are you still waiting for your copy? Talk it out down in comments below as usual. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel and you would want to hear more from me, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing you again soon in a new video. Bye!